Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Raghavendra. So you already know that we are doing the Docker project series, and we have already done three projects in this series using Node.js and using Python and also a static website. So we have done three projects till now, and in today's projects we will be working on the Redis, Flask, and Docker Compose. So till now we have only created the Docker file, but today we are just enhancing our Docker skills and little bit advanced project we are doing today. So that will be a Docker Compose project. And here is a project, the code project using Flask, Redis, and Docker Compose, right? So what is Redis? Redis is a Docker database container where we can use we can track the web application and store it. So and Docker Compose. Why we need the Docker Compose here? So since we are using two applications, Redis and Flask, which is a Python, and if you see the Docker file, you can understand why we need the Docker Compose here. Okay, so we'll just check the Docker file. So see, so here we have installed Python and application. Then we have installed the Python with the requirement.txt with the port 5000 and all, right? Then when we check the Docker Compose, see, we don't have the Redis here, right? So we don't have Redis here. But if you see the Docker Compose file, we have the Redis. Okay, we have the Redis running with the image Alpine image, which will reduce the image size. Which we are saying, and we are running at the port 501. So because I have just mapped the port here, since with 5000 I'm running another application, so I have choose 505001 as a port, and here is a Redis we are running in the Docker Compose, and in the Docker file we have the Python. Okay, in the requirement .txt we have the Flask application. Got it? So combining these three, we have run the application, and the application will be the application which we have done. So we'll go to the application. So what is the application means? So last in the first project also we have done a Python very basic Python application, right? So but in this application we'll check how many times we have visited the count. It will calculate the count, and the thing, all the count will be stored using the Redis. Got it? So that's about the project, and we'll be discussing on one to one. So like we have already know that how we have created the Docker file, which is very important. So using this only we can create the images. So Docker Python version and work directory, and copy the requirement.txt where we have the Flask application, and run pip install. Okay, copy app.python and expose it for 5000, and since it is a Python application, we are using Python, the main application we have given it. And then the next important thing would be, like, we are not discussing about the app.py, because since it is like completely, we'll go through once, but since it is completely an application side, so as a DevOps engineer, so you don't have much role here, but you need to understand why what we need exactly. So here we have imported Redis and OS both, and the host and everything we have written here. Okay, and the application should return, hello, this page has been visited number of times. Okay, got it? So the count will be calculated to Redis. Got it? And then the another file we have, which is very important, is the Docker Compose that we need to discuss today, because we at last few projects we have discussing the Docker file. You have been discussing about the application file, right? So, but since it is very new, so the Docker Compose, which handles everything. So this is written in the YAML file. In the Docker Compose, we are going to return which will be using the YAML. Okay, so we need to give the which version we need. Okay, then services. What are services we need? We'll be using the port and the environment. Which environment we are using? We are using a Redis and depends on Redis itself, and the image. Which image we are using? The Redis itself. So the dependencies, the requirements we have given in the YAML file. So how we'll write the YAML file? So the service, okay, the environment, then the images which we have. So based on the requirements, we'll be writing more YAML file. Sometimes we'll be writing like 100 lines, 200 lines as well. So, but since we have so many uh, AI tools, so if you have the exact requirement, if you know the exact requirement, AI tools can write the complete YAML files, so that could be very easy. But you need to be little bit cautious while writing this YAML code. You need to understand how we are doing and what are the dependencies you are installing and where you are storing these kind of details, which you need to be very cautious. Got it? Okay, that's it. So once we have the Docker file ready and app is ready and the Docker Compose is ready, then the requirement text anyhow we will be having the Flask and Redis in the requirement Flask and Redis. We have in the requirement.txt. That's it. So once we have everything set up perfectly, this should be the your project structure, and we'll run the Docker Compose up. So I have already run this command. Okay, once you run, the application starts running. So you need to go to the port which you have given. So since I have given 5001, so I'm able to see this how many times I have visited 17 times. So I can like reload it. So if I reload, so it is uh, the number will be changed. So you can see that how many times we have visited and everything, which you can notice that change. Got it? Yeah, that's about today's project. Very simple, but we are exploring the Docker Compose and Redis as well. So how can we use the Redis everything? So the concepts which we have covered: Docker Compose, service networking, so the host name and everything. That depends on the control container setup order, environment variables, and microservices platforms. Since we are using a microservice in this project, as Redis is a microservice platform, so we are using the Docker Compose here. So the important network concept, the Flask application connects to Redis using hostname Redis. This works because Docker Compose automatically creates a shared network where each service name becomes a DNS hostname accessible by other containers. This is the same principle used in the real production container environments. So this is a very good project. So you need to understand so how it is working. So the structure and everything. So you need to understand uh, the main app.py, so where we have the host, okay, the company network. Are we matching with the Docker file, Docker Compose or not? So the environment setup, everything. So that's about today's project. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please do just clone this and practice yourself so that it makes sense for you. So since we want to keep up all the projects within 10 minutes.